Hello, my dearest students. Welcome all of you to a new academic session. I am Aninita Bhattacharya, your SST teacher. We all the teachers look forward to serving you and making sure you have an enjoyable and successful year. So make this year incredible, and you know that you are having the first board examination in this year. So all the best for your bright future. Today we will start with the first chapter of geography, and that is resources and development. Before entering this chapter, remember in class 9th already you covered the difficult geography portion, and that is the physical geography portion. But in class 10th it is very easy one. It is all about the economic geography. So just check out the learning objectives of this chapter. क्या क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं हम ये चैप्टर में. So we will study about the definition of resource, classification of resource, development of resource, resource conservation, resource planning. The two case study we will obviously learn about, and these are the land resources and soil as resources. So the question is, what is the meaning of resource? Everything available in our environment which can be satisfy our needs. So in very simple words, a resource is something that can be used for a purpose. But apart from this, also resource has some criteria, just like it should be technologically accessible and economically feasible and culturally acceptable. So what is the meaning of technologically accessible? जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, जो रिसोर्स प्रोसेसिंग में जो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ किया जाता है वो मस्ट भी अवेलेबल होना चाहिए कंट्री के अंदर. तो इसको हम लोग बोल सकते हैं टेक्नोलॉजिकली एक्सेसिबल. इकोनॉमिकली फिजिबल मीन्स जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है रिसोर्स का, उसका कुछ आउटपुट कंट्री के इकोनॉमी पे होना चाहिए. इसको हम बोल सकते हैं इकोनॉमिकली फिजिबल. एंड कल्चरली एक्सेप्टेबल मीन्स डोंट हर्ट द सेंटिमेंट्स ऑफ द पीपल्स. सराउंडिंग हो सकता है, लोकल पीपल हो सकता है, या कंट्रीज पीपल हो सकता है. सो कल्चरली एक्सेप्टेबल मीन्स डोंट हर्ट द सेंटिमेंट ऑफ द country's people, whatever the local people. Okay, so on that time we can say it can be termed as resource. Okay, let's move to the next topic, and that is interdependent relationship between nature, technology and institution. Look at the diagram. So human beings extract raw materials from nature with the help of technology, and again with the help of technology this type of raw material is converted into a finished product, isn't it? And where? Obviously any kind of places, and it is called institution. So human beings interact with nature through technology and create institution to accelerate their economic development. Very important questions. Justify the statement or whatever the elaborate statement like this, you will find out this type of question. So please underline this. Our next topic is classification of resources. Resource can be divided into two parts: natural resource and human resource. Natural resource again divided into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resource has two subdivision. It is called the continuous or flow resource, examples wind, water, and biological resource, just like the natural vegetation and wildlife. So flora and fauna, instead of the natural vegetation and wildlife we can say the flora and fauna, isn't it? So non-renewable resources also has two subdivision. It is called the recyclable and non-recyclable resources. Recyclable examples metals, non-recyclable examples fossil fuels. Human resource also divided into two parts: structure and institution, quality and quantity. Our next topic is resource classification criteria. So based on origin or source, we are having two resources: biotic resources and abiotic resources. So biotic resources are obtained from biosphere and have life, such as human beings, flora and fauna. Abiotic resources, all those things which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. For example rocks and metals. So हम लोग बोल सकते हैं biotic resource को living resource, and abiotic resource को हम बोल सकते हैं non-living resources. According exhaustibility, resource can be divided into two parts: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So all the resources which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical and mechanical process are known as renewable or replenishable resources. For example, solar and wind energy. Again, renewable resources divided into two parts, continuous or flow and biological resources. Continuous और flow का examples है wind and water. Biological resource का examples है forest and wildlife. Non-renewable resources, these occur over a very long geological time. Minerals and fossil fuels are example of such resources. Again, the non-renewable resources divided into two parts, recyclable resources and non-recyclable resources. Examples, metals. Non-recyclable resources examples, fossil fuels. On the basis of ownership, resources again divided into four parts, individual resources, community owned resources, national resources and international resources. So what is the meaning of individual resources? These are also owned privately by individuals. Examples, plantation, pasture lands, ponds, water, wells. Community owned resources, examples just like grazing grounds, burial grounds, village ponds, parks. So these are the resources which are accessible to all the members of the community. On that time it is called the community owned resources. Third one, national resources. All the minerals, water resources, forest, wildlife, land within the political boundaries and oceanic areas up to 12 nautical miles from the coast termed as territorial water and resources therein belong to the nation. Okay, it is called the national resources. रिमेंबर माई चिल्ड्रन, विद इन द कंट्री जितने सारे रिसोर्स मिल सकते हैं उसको सबको बोला जाता है नेशनल रिसोर्सेस. और अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस वी कैन से दैट द कोस्टल एरिया से 12 नॉटिकल माइल्स के अंदर जितने सारे भी रिसोर्स मिल सकते हैं वो उसको भी बोला जाता है नेशनल रिसोर्सेस. Next one, international resources. There are international institutions such as UN which regulate some resources. The oceanic resources beyond 200 km of the exclusive economic zone belong to the open oceans and no individual country can utilize this without the concurrence of international institution. Remember, international institution means UN. Okay, so EEZ means exclusive economic zone is an area that is adjacent to and beyond the territorial area. Okay, so remember EEZ of India is about 2.37 million square kilometer. Our next criteria is based on the status of development. So again we are having four resources for this. First one, potential resource, the resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized. For example, the western parts of India, particularly Rajasthan and Gujarat, have enormous potential for the development of wind and solar energy, but so far this have not been developed properly. So for potential resource, remember we are having the technology but we are not having the proper technology to extract this kind of resources. It is called the potential resources. Developed resources, resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity also have been determined for utilization. The development of resources depend on technology and level of their feasibility. So we know the resource and we know the amount of the resource also. It is called the developed resource. Just example for this, minerals, petroleum, coal, etc. Now we are going to talk about the stock and reserve resources. So materials in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access this are included among the stock resources. So we know the resource, we know the potentiality for this kind of resources but we are not having the technology for processing this kind of resources. So it is called stock resources. Examples, hydrogen and oxygen. Next one, reserve resources are the subset of the stock which can be put into use with the help of existing technical know-how, but their use has not been started. This can be used for meeting future requirement. Okay, so remember, reserve resource only for the future generation, for our future requirement, just like the water in dam. Okay, forest, all this type of resources are called as the reserve resources. So my dear children, that's the end of today's session. Just revise all the topics and make a summary. We will meet in our next class with new topics. Till then, bye, take care and happy learning.